Hi there, and welcome to another Software and Internet Monthly Market Report brought to you by Sampford Advisors for the month of January 2021. It was a really strong month on the M&A side with $22.3 billion invested in January, 165 transactions, and a revenue multiple average of 11.5 times. We'll talk a lot about those stats in the context of other months, but it was a really impressive month. A couple of transactions. Citrix Systems acquired Reich for $2.3 billion. ForcePoint was acquired by Francisco Partners for $1.1 billion. And LiveVox was acquired for $840 million. So lots of very large transactions in the software space this month. You can see that in a little bit more context. Like if we annualize the amount of dollar volume for the month, we would obviously be at a really strong year for 2021. Now, none of us expect that to obviously happen, but it just kind of gives you some context as to how the month is tracking, not only on the dollar volume, which would annualize at nearly $270 billion, but also the number of transactions, which would annualize at nearly 2,000 transactions, which would be a record. So, but again, 1 month doesn't make a trend, but it's nonetheless very impressive. On the multiple side of stuff, you can see that obviously the multiples are up for 2021. Now, I wouldn't base this, there's obviously limited number of data points that are disclosed so early on in the year. So there's not really that much we can put emphasis on this, but we should wait for a few more months for this to kind of normalize out. And we would expect it to kind of normalize out where it was, 2019, 2020 for the year as we go on. You can really see the number of transactions in January and how that fits with the last couple of years. So it was a record month for the last few years and really has rebounded very strongly from the May 2020 lows, which has been really impressive to see. We would expect this trend to kind of continue, maybe not at the pace of 165 deals a month, but definitely kind of north of 125 deals a month for the next few months, given the level of activity that we're seeing right now. On the VC side of stuff, also a very busy month. So $7.2 billion invested in the month, 278 transactions, and a median deal size across all transactions of 3.6 million. So very consistent on the median deal size. We'll talk about the other two data points as we go on here. But some notable transactions, Robinhood, obviously a lot of, they've been in the news a lot recently, and they raised $1 billion from Sequoia Capital. Lacework raised $525 million. And Roblox raised $520 million. So some really large transactions on the VC side of stuff for sure, and probably something that's going to continue as the months go on here as well, given everything we're hearing about the VC market right now. And you can kind of see that in context of both the number of deals and where we would track if we annualize both the number of deals and the dollar volume. So it would obviously be a record, again, just like the M&A side of things, when none of us are expecting that kind of volume every month, but it's definitely a good sign and a positive start to the year. On the number of deals side, that's an interesting trend, because even with a really strong month like we had in January, we're tracking to be down pretty considerably again. So shows that less deals are happening, but more money is going to those fewer transactions. And that's a trend that we've been talking about here for a while now. And then on the multiple side of stuff, you can see here that, again, same sort of picture as the M&A side, limited data, so nothing that we can really draw in conclusion from this. And we'll just have to watch these metrics as the year progresses. But obviously, they're going to probably normalize to where we have seen them last couple of years. Probably more consistent with 2020 levels, which were, for the most part, up over 2019. But again, they're not going to end up at this, nearly 100 times for early stage transactions and nearly 40 times for late stage transactions. But we'll watch this trend as the year progresses. Anyway, that's it for the month. We look forward to talking to you next month. If you want this or any more data, we include a lot more in our monthly market reports. So happy to share them. Just reach out to anyone on the team and we'll get you signed up. Thanks very much. Have a great month.